Hello and welcome to my thoughts on 96, 97, 98, and 99. So we're starting off with Abyssinians Part 1. Man, what a bad title, am I right? Couldn't even take the time to think of a pun. But then again, maybe it is a pun/reference of the other bad title, Cats. If you haven't read yet, you can click here and I'll read it for you. Alright, everyone ready? Let's go. So, our story starts off on an airship. Team Flutterpie is hitching a ride with Team Rainbow Dash. After apparently flying all the way back to Canterlot, then all the way back to basically Abyssinia, Rainbow Dash makes a stylish entrance, flinging waffles everywhere. Apparently, Twilight has some cool news about the Tree of Harmony. But lol, who gives a shit about the main plot? Good job, Pinkie Pie, interrupting that garbage. Who would want to know what's going on? Not this guy, ha ha ha. Kill me now. So this is actually a pretty good opening scene. So it starts off, it's funny. Ha ha ha, Pinkie Pie waffles everywhere. It almost gives us more details on the overarching plot, but conveniently at the same time, doesn't say anything. Which isn't the best, but it's almost something good, half a point. Like, I wouldn't mind the cock tease to be funny if the plot had been set up literally at any point in the story, but nothing's happened. So why? My brain literally broke. Why won't they just tell us one thing, anything, literally any one thing, please? What is going on with this plot? But it does set up local plot for this story. Fluttershy tells Discord not to use magic, calling back to what Fluttershy tells Discord in issue 94. And Capper is sad about going back home. Man, he explains the events of the movie prequel so casually. He didn't even mention that he got Mufasa off the airship. How could you not mention the literal best part of that comic? He just casually says, the airship caught fire. It's like, Capper, it caught fire because you two knocked over a lantern while you were beating the shit out of each other. You don't understand the story that much. So in Capper's flashback, he conveniently states that he has 5 other friends here. I wonder what those 6 cats could possibly have to do with the story. So, before I actually read this story, I actually spoiled myself that Chummer was in this story. Because of the great Rarity debacle, I needed to check the order in which these comics happened, so I verified that Rarity's light had less lights lit up than Capper's lights. And in the process of doing that, I flipped the end of 96 and saw Old Ragged Chummer, which was probably actually a boon, because if I hadn't seen Chummer at the end there, I would have gotten to exactly this panel and saw Chummer there, and it's like, oh, Chummer is literally obviously one of the elements. But instead, I gotta be like, oh my god, Chummer's here! Honestly, this Capper flashback totally ruins the big dramatic reveal at the end. I can't believe they did that to themselves. It's actually kind of like you get spoiled by reading the story in the intended order. That's actually really, really bad. So I'm glad I got to experience it that way. So the team gets to Panthera, where it's a police state. Whoa! Didn't see that one coming. And this interaction with the police is pretty good too. It does a really good job of incorporating everyone's characters while introducing the main problem. Fluttershy stopping to talk about the laws, which gets them arrested for loitering, Discord wanting to protect her, but Fluttershy shutting him down, but luckily Trixie's here and no one can control that bitch, so they get arrested for magic anyway, and Pinkie Pie, lol so random. Classic. I honestly think this scene is the only reason Trixie is here. Like, yeah, she is being Capper's friend, but Pinkie and Fluttershy are just as capable. Only Trixie could not give a fuck about the law. Maybe if Starlight was here, bringing Trixie is like bringing Discord without Fluttershy to control him. It's like, who thought this through? But I love that girl, as you can probably tell, but I mean, like, I don't love her. I mean, she's like top 5, but anyway. Trixie and Discord get collared and they can't use magic. RIP. I mean, honestly, something had to happen for Discord not to use his magic. What are the chances that Discord's actually lying and he can use his magic. That's a thought that has been in my mind since the moment he got collared. Because, lol, Discord can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't know why I'm saying fuck so much. I guess it's just one of those days. And now, the gang gets hauled away to the palace, where it is now the saddest day of my life. Where's Cat? Where's Cat? Where the hell is Cat? We just have shitty Prince Meow Meow. I'm not gonna call him King. He's Prince Cat, and I'm not gonna refer to him as Meow Meow. It's such a dumb name. Anyway, Prince Cat is the son of Cat and Queen Cat. Where are they? Who knows? Not dead. I guess they could be dead, but an awfully convenient time for them to die. And they were just at the convocation of the creatures like last year. I guess that's why Equestria needs a trade agreement with Abyssinia. Cat's gone, okay. Maybe Twilight told him Discord was coming, and he was like, man, I hate that douchebag. He cut my ear off. I'm out of here. Prince Cat, you can take over for this week. That's my headcanon until I finish 97 and realize Cat's never coming back. Also, this is where I start to have a nitpick with the reasoning for the police state. He blames it on the Storm King, which that's fair, but he blames it on magic, which the Storm King isn't a magical creature, right? The whole point is him taking magic from others. And when he invaded Abyssinia, he didn't use any magic. He just flew in, broke a door down, stole gold, and stole Abyssinia's magical artifacts that Prince Cat is conveniently not mentioning, and then raised the city. No magic involved. And Prince Cat says his parents let him in. He fucking busted their door down with an army of thousands of monkey men. I don't know what he heard, but Prince Cat has horribly misinterpreted this whole situation. So when I started doing Prince Cat's voice, originally I wanted to give him a douchebag voice, but Discord's already here, and out of respect for his father, I just gave him Cat's voice, which he doesn't deserve. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't mind that Abyssinia is a police state. I just think the reasoning behind it is ill-informed. But maybe that's actually a plot point and not bad writing. I can't make this call yet. And now it's time for Capper's friendship speech. It's pretty good, starts off strong. You can tell that Capper doesn't really have much friendship speech skills, but he is very charismatic, so perhaps he's got this. And then at the end, he loses his cool and starts shaking the king. Come on, king, you gotta do this. Be friends. No, Capper, stop. You almost had it. Now he's in jail. Damn, so close. I love that throughout his friendship speech, he slips his cuffs. What a good detail. But back in jail, Discord's all sad. Because this is all Fluttershy's fault, damn it. Because of her, Discord's in jail, being all sappy, telling her that he cares about her. God, how did we get here? So Fluttershy says that Discord's lost his magic twice before, which is a fair statement to make, but no matter how you look at it, it is wrong. It's either 3 or 5, depending on if you want to count Discordant Harmony and the Changeling Hive, but there is a for sure third loss of magic in issue 57, which you might say, that's not canon. Well, it's just as canon as this comic, so ha! Anyway, petty semantics aside. So the moment Discord says he's been trying to blow up this wall, the seeds that have been planted in my head start to grow. There is literally no way Molly does not blow up that wall. Now that's good foreshadowing. Speaking of good foreshadowing, I like my chummer foreshadowing. Body was never found. I think it's a lot better than just saying that Chummer's one of the elements of Harmony and that he's going to be in the story. But that's just me. I'm pretty sure there is no world where Trixie saying, "It's trying to eat him," is not a banger of a line. That's like such a Trixie line, right? It's literally perfect. No one else could get away with saying something so dumb. Not even Pinkie Pie. And now we're introduced to Shadow. Not to the hedgehog, but the cat. So, the purring was not intentional at first. I just accidentally purred one of her lines. And listening back to it, I was like, oh, I should retake that. And then I realized how stupid that sounded and added in more purring. It's funny. But anyway, there was a typo in one of Fluttershy's lines that, like, has never happened before. Like, there's been sentence structure that I don't agree with, but I've never once just seen a typo. That's honestly impressive. Good job, editors. Alright, I guess the last thing to talk about is the escape scene. So the yarn ball distraction is mostly stupid, but it's just slightly funny stupid. However, the laser pointer scene is brilliant, in my eyes. When Shadow said, "Close your eyes, I don't want you to be blinded," what did you think was gonna happen? Because what I thought was gonna happen was... Flash out! But instead, it was a stupid laser pointer. So even though it's just kind of stupid funny, it subverted my expectations and made it actually funny. But now, I guess it's time to play Who's That Element? And oh boy, we have almost zero information on anyone. So I'm going to start off with the two cats we have the most information on, Capper and Chummer. So there's two ways I can see this going. At first, I was almost certain that the only thing I didn't know is that Chummer could not be loyalty. But maybe he actually is loyalty. And that Capper, who is magic, will have to teach him the magic of loyalty. And on the flip side, Capper is loyalty and Chummer is magic, and Capper has to teach Chummer loyalty. Either way, Chummer has to learn loyalty. That's the only thing I could foresee. And between honesty, generosity, laughter, and kindness, it's basically, we know literally zero things about any of these four characters. But if I'm gonna throw out random guesses with no basis, Molly is laughter because she's a crazy bomb maker. Max is kindness, because he's big and pink. Shadow is generosity. I don't know how she's just a literal thief, but you know, maybe stealing things isn't the opposite of generosity. Maybe she only steals from the rich? And then Fluffington is honesty. Just look at him, that's a guy you can trust. Bam, solved it. And then the Tree of Harmony is going to be conveniently randomly in these tunnels. Capper says they discovered this whole system of tunnels under the city, but they're just in a sewer. It's not some secret tunnel, but whatever. But anyway, that's how I think the Tree of Harmony stuff is gonna play out, but I don't know what's gonna happen to make Prince Cat change his mind. And what's cool about this story so far is that it's distinctly different than Applejack and Rarity's missions. The rulers of Ferocity and Canania were pretty chill about the idea of declaring a friendship. And really all the ponies had to do was do a little mission for them. Oh, go check out this temple in the desert where the Groot song lives. Or, hey, check out these mines. My sister got super sick down there. It'd be pretty cool if you can find out what happened and cure her. But Prince Cat has no problems. While the city might have a problem, Prince Cat does not see it. So I see two scenarios. Scenario 1, some random, convenient, terrible disaster will happen, and Capper will have to use the magic of the Tree of Harmony to save the city. And then Prince Cat will see the errors of his ways and be like, "Oh, you saved us all! Magic is no longer illegal!" That would be the lame option. Or 2, Capper, along with his friends, will reach out to the hearts of the cats of the kingdom. They see their pain, their suffering, their fear, and will create an uprising. As the civilian cats overthrow the guard, Capper and Chummer will make their way up to the throne room, where they'll meet Prince Cat face to face. So, you're back to steal my kingdom? No, Prince Cat. We're here to free your kingdom! Then together they unleash the power of the elements and claim the throne for themselves. That would be very cool and dramatic, but there is no way that's happening. It'll probably be something much more boring and mundane like Scenario 1. Well, I guess there is Scenario 3. King and Queen Cat return from their weekend getaway when they realize that the asshole Discord himself is still here. So they sign the friendship treaty and say, "Get the hell out of our city." The end. I don't know what scenario this one would fall under, but since the cats of the city are terrified of leaving their homes, I suspect that Pinkie Pie will have to spread laughter throughout the city. I don't know whether this will cause scenario 1 or 2 to play out, but I think that'll be a crucial step. Oh, and how they do this is by putting on a magic show. Just because Trixie lost her magic doesn't mean she can't still do prestidigitation. That's a hard word to say. Prestidigitation. And Discord, filling in Starlight's role, will be the assistant. Hey, I know what part 2 is about now. I don't know how Fluttershy will utilize her skills for this mission. I don't think we'll need her kindness. And since she didn't get collared, maybe we'll need to talk to animals, but I don't see why that would be necessary. I think she's just here to look cute beside Discord. Alright, and those are my predictions for part 2. I don't know how Chummer learning loyalty will coincide with a magic show, but I guess we'll find out right now. I'm having a good time so far. I can't wait to see how part 2 ruins it. So right off the bat, I just want to say, I always planned on putting Chummer's voice back to normal when he became friendly, but he's actually just friendly right now, so it's back to normal. And also, oh my god, he's on the same wavelength as me. He calls him King Cat. So I'm still gonna call him Prince Cat, because I hate the guy, but that's cool. Oh my god, what a brilliant way to give Trixie her mediocre magic back while keeping Discord locked out of his. Oh my god, this is so good so far. Okay, so it is pretty weird that Chummer is just kind of vibing here. It's like the attempted murder isn't even a problem between him and Capper. Granted, cats are very good at surviving long falls, but still, you would think Capper would not trust him so easily? So I hypothesized that this issue would be about Chummer loyalty arc, but he actually just had that off screen, so I'm still gonna call that a win. Also another point for me, I'm so glad Molly ended up being Laughter, because if she wasn't, the crazy bomb maker persona I gave her would have been really awkward. So in the first issue of Season 10, Fluttershy says that she wasn't comfortable leading on her own, and that's why Pinkie Pie's here. But she just perfectly takes charge the entire time, which is unfortunate for Pinkie Pie because she gets basically completely unused. You know, besides making a few also random remarks. They really couldn't think of anything for Pinkie Pie to do on any team, so she's just stuck here doing nothing? That's unfortunate. Which is funny because I guessed that Fluttershy would be the one to not be utilized. But it turns out Fluttershy was used very well. She does almost everything. From keeping Discord and Trixie in line, to leading the team throughout Abyssinia, to coming up with a plan to save the day, to initiating the rebellion, she really carries this story. And what I think is really interesting about this team is that it didn't feel like they were required for this story at all. It feels like they were chosen not for their special talents, but for their unique personalities, and how those personalities could be used to keep the story flowing. I don't know if it's clear on what I mean, but let's look at Rarity, for example. So Rarity and Maud were very logical choices to bring to Diamond Dog Land. Then there's Big Mac, who's Big Mac and says, yup, and does nothing else. And then there's conveniently Mage Meadowbrook, who can conveniently cure the princess who is conveniently ill, therefore conveniently solving the only obstacle. The entire story itself is just crafted around Maud and Meadowbrook's abilities. And that's not the case here. While Discord, of course, can conveniently do anything he wants, he doesn't. The only thing he conveniently does is destroy the entire army, which the cats could have just done anyway with the elements of harmony. But something like Trixie's self-centered and annoying personality is used extremely well. She resists arrest, causing her and Discord to get collared, and then continues to keep him collared by melting it, because of course the great and powerful Trixie can do anything, and finishes up with a Trixie classic, being a distraction so every guard is too busy looking at her. Team Flutterpie truly carries this whole story on personality alone. And honestly, the cats just feel like the side characters. It's actually really weird to think about. Like, you think the story should be about Capper and Chummer's relationship, but it's just truly not. Chummer has his character growth off screen, and Capper just kinda, I forgive you, best buddy, and it's over. Which makes it weird that I like this story, because the plot isn't good, and the new cats don't do anything. They're actually irrelevant. Team Flutterpie was just casted too strongly. The characters were utilized way too well, and I just like them way too much. The characteristics of Team Flutterpie just completely overshadow the new characters. How does that make up for it? In my mind it shouldn't, but in my heart it does. Except Pinkie Pie. She was as secondary as the cats. I mean, I guess I said it earlier, Fluttershy just carries the story so well. Anyway, I kinda just skipped right ahead to talking about the whole issue, and totally forgot about talking about individual scenes. So speaking of individual scenes, I love the entire Trixie melting the collar scene, and Discord's reaction, and Molly wanting to blow it up because she's a psychopath. Well, in my headcanon she is. I love that Discord gets aggressive with her, I love that Fluttershy starts yelling. Am I just gonna end up saying I love every single scene where Fluttershy, Discord, and Trixie are involved? I hope that's not the case. I do really like the panel where everyone's running down the sewer yelling at each other, and then Shadow gets pissy. That's funny. Good job, Fluttershy, being the only one we can count on. So when the distraction starts, I love the misdirection with who is speaking. It is I, the great and powerful Discord. That's such a good use of the medium. Unfortunately, it didn't translate well to voiceover. And I love how upset Trixie gets by it. She's so worried about being perceived as a copycat that she becomes a copycat. And the lone guard, bragging to himself about how powerful the cat guard is, just gets one shot in the back of the head. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Max killed him. Look at that face. Kinda weird that Capper can just pick the lock on the super special Tree of Harmony door. If it can just be picked by common tools, and it's not magically protected somehow, couldn't Prince Cat just break the door down? But I don't know, I can't keep looking at this panel because naked Capper is too weird to look at. But actually though, such a plot twist. I did not expect Prince Cat to be such an active antagonist. I thought he would just be passively waiting in his castle to be overthrown. But no, he attacked them. Wow. Turns out he's a goddamn evil mastermind. Also, I love that he specifies cat guards as if he has any other kind of guards. It's too bad Prince Cat doesn't know that you can't just get rid of the Tree of Harmony by breaking it. So unfortunately, his plan was flawed from the start. But it is pretty funny when he goes up and scratches it. And then gets tackled by Fluttershy, Jesus! And then Prince Cat gives the kill order. Oh my god, he's ruthless. This battle is so dramatic. Chummer just starting off with a speech. If they want to kill Fluttershy, they'll have to kill us all! And then Discord freaking out because he knows Fluttershy is about to die. Oh god, then Max still in the background, wrecking everyone's shit. Then Trixie and Pinkie Pie go down. Capper and Chummer both prepared to give their lives. And then one of the cats makes a mistake of trying to smack Discord in the neck with a baseball bat. Turns out, when you melt metal then let it re-solidify by air drying, it gets filled with little pockets of air, causing it to become porous, ruining its structural stability. I mean, maybe, I don't know, I majored in biology, not physics. What I do know is that Discord is very cool here. Ooh, and then Fluttershy's one-liner. It doesn't have to have a meaning. It's chaos. And then we get into the elements, yay! So, randomly assigned elements are Molly on laughter, yay! Fluffington on kindness, okay. Max on honesty, okay. Shadow on magic. You know, at least when Shadow questions why the hell she's magic, she gets the explanation of, because friendship is magic. unlike Moon, who is magic because of magic. Chummer is loyalty, thank God. If that was literally anything but loyalty or magic, there would have been riots. And then Capper is generosity, which is... okay. I actually have no clue why he is generosity. Well, if you're going by Canania logic, because generosity is forgiveness, and Capper forgave Chummer. But I mean, Fluttershy forgiving Discord is kindness, but that's beside the point. So, in the Diamond Dog story, I questioned whether name-dropping the element was better or worse than just being randomly assigned an element. And you know what this story showed me? I would much prefer them just being randomly assigned. I love that no character in the story just says what element they are. And that being said, of course, it would be preferable that the characters reflected aspects of the elements in their personality traits from time to time, so that, you know, it made sense from the reader's point of view why they are what they are. I really don't understand why Shadow is magic, especially over Capper. But then again, all these characters are thieves, so why would they embody any aspect of harmony? Max's reaction to being honesty? Huh, maybe that's why I don't talk. Probably because I'd be inclined to lie about all the crimes I'm committing. And especially Chummer. If I didn't take the time after part 1 to really think about how I thought the story would progress, I would be so off guard by Chummer just being called loyalty. His only defining characteristic before this was that he was disloyal. It's hilarious. But just going back to Kappa real quick, just because he is the main cat here, he should be the most, fleshed out character. I can't think of any scenario in this story or any previous story he's been in where I would consider him generous. But I mean, I'm not referencing anything, I'm just going off my head. I do think the callback to Bast is really cool. I mean, it was just as Sweetie Belle said. All she needed was the elements of harmony, which apparently they had over here, so that's how they claimed a new Nugent for the cats. And then with some of the cats in the city, gaining magic, the first thing that came to my mind, it's just like in Legend of Korra, after the spoiler happens, the spoilers happen. That's funny. I mean, I guess we don't technically know what the deal is with these cats, because I mean, they didn't have magic in issue 24, so I don't know what's going on with them now, but I'm just gonna call it magic until we get some other kind of clarification, which we'll probably never get. And then Prince Cat gets overthrown, the end. Kinda wish we got closure on King and Queen Cats. It's hilarious that he shows up as a repeatable background character, and then the one time it would be convenient that he exists, he doesn't exist anymore. Oh, and also, the season 10 overarching plot exists, lol, but you wouldn't know it. One more light has turned on. Such a development, who would have thought? The farther along I get in season 10, the more upset I am that the second half of Zecora was basically devoted to setting up the overarching season 10 plot. But I mean, apparently they had no plans to utilize it anytime soon, so I don't know why they wasted so much time during Zecora's arc setting it up when they could be setting it up slowly across all the arcs. Who knows? At least this was a solid standalone story. So I said that, but then I remembered that the story is actually not that good, and I might only like how the characters are written in it. Hold on, let me actually think about it real quick. Go to Abyssinia to set up a friendship. Prince Cat is the antagonist because he doesn't like magic. The conflict is a literal battle for once with Prince Cat's army, and the resolution is overthrow the government because friendship is magic. Honestly, maybe the story itself is fine. Maybe the only problem is I expect the story to be related to the cats, Capper and his gang, but they're actually just not relevant at all, and maybe that's just why it feels weird. It feels wrong to say this, but Chummer and Capper's relationship is the weakest part of the story, when I feel like I would normally say that the relationship between these two characters is the story, as with Zecora and Marini, as with Jen and Katharina, as with Twilight and her friends, but it's simply not. There is literally an actual story happening, and they're the B-plot. I'm pretty surprised how close my guess of how part 2 would play out was. So I put the emphasis on inciting a rebellion through the spreading of laughter and friendship, which kinda happened in a sense. The Tree of Harmony spread ancient cat magic around the city, but apparently I should have put the emphasis on overthrowing Prince Cat. I thought my scenario was too cool and dramatic, but it turned out to be way cooler and way more dramatic than I expected. Alright, this has gone on pretty long, but I'm just gonna say one more thing real quick. There seems to be an overarching theme of forgiveness. Sakura and Marini, Jen and Katharina, Capper and Chummer. Whether this is a coincidence, a writing crutch, or relevant to the plot, we shall see. Alright, next up, Pony's Treasure. And I just gotta say, oh my god, I hate Rainbow in this. Why is she here? All she does is say the exact same thing over and over. Oh my god, the eyes are following me. I don't care, it's not funny. Please stop. Alright, now that that's out of the way. So I got pretty excited when Celestia started her flashback, especially with how distraught Celestia was before starting the story. And then the story started, and the Kraken came, the end. And I was like, oh, I got baited. I thought she was gonna tell a cool story. You know, like a Star Swirl Baby Princess's Legends of Magic Grand Old Adventure. But it was actually very disappointing. And I don't understand how Rainbow got so hyped up after hearing it. Literally nothing happened. Calm down, Rainbow Dash. But I will say, it's hilarious how unsatisfying the story is compared to how emotionally distressed Celestia was before telling it. But then Fluttershy's all like, oh no, Krakens are beautiful, sweet creatures. They would never hurt a pony. And I mean, if Fluttershy says she's never met a dangerous Kraken, I'm inclined to believe her. Celestia, unfortunately, is quite dismissive, which is very interesting of her character, because Celestia is typically only a jerk to Luna, while behind closed doors. So for her to act like this in front of Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash, Celestia doll must really be traumatizing her. I like that Luna wants to try to talk to the Kraken. It's a nice callback to Legends of Magic, whether intentional or coincidental. I'm inclined to say intentional because there's also this scene earlier. And as we know, there are no sides here, Princess Luna. It's also really funny that Luna starts to emotionally manipulate her sister into going with her. Well, if I die, I guess it'll be your fault for not coming with me. See you later, hopefully. What a good line. Good job, Luna. And down there in the Crystal Sea, we find the wreckage of many ships, at least 2. Because right there we got 2 front bits. I don't know what that part of the ship is called. The aft. I don't know. Alright, I just looked it up. The front end's called the bow. Close enough. While it's a nice detail that Celestia is all like, why can't I use my magic? I don't understand what she's trying to do with her magic. The panel is not very clear with what's going on, and it just kind of seems like it's brought up for literally no reason. It is cool though. Also, petty semantics, I hate that she says, my powers. Just call it magic. Why? I don't understand. My power's failing. That's all that plays in my head when I read that line. I would like to separate Celestia from Tails, please. And then, dun dun dun, the Kraken appears. And then she plops the sisters right down on the beach. The end. Yep. After her lackluster story, Celestia really started to hype this Kraken up again, and then, it's just as not threatening as anyone thought. And somehow, Celestia is still going on about how dangerous it is, and how it must be killed. Luckily, Luna's here to watch and listen, as this Kraken is here to save everyone from natural disasters. Wow, thanks, Kraken. So, I don't like how Luna's all like, the Kraken's trying to save us. And then Celestia's the one to just all of a sudden explain what's going on. It feels like Luna got shafted a little too early. So that's why I changed this first dialogue box from Celestia to Luna. I just think it flows a little better that way. And then Celestia uses her magic to destroy the whirlpool forever. The end. You know, I think it was a pretty okay story. The build-up to the reveal of the Kraken was handled pretty well, IMO. Very dramatic and suspenseful, as Celestia describes what happened on that fateful day, and then Luna's all like, "You mean like that, Whirlpool?" And then, dun dun dun, there it is. And then 15 seconds later, plop, oh, we're on the beach, we're all safe. Oh, the Kraken's actually friendly, the end. That's not that good. It ends way too fast. And it's kind of funny, but in a bad way. They definitely could have lingered longer on the drama. Also, the story probably would have benefited from some kind of conflict. I couldn't identify one. Like, who's even the protagonist? I don't know. They probably could have, made that stuff up. Well, I guess Celestia has an internal conflict. But I mean, the resolution to that eternal conflict is Luna saying, "Wait, it's good," and then it's good, the end. But I mean, other than the lack of stable plot structures, I do think the writing itself was pretty good. Oh, I mean, not Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash was a mess. But with Celestia and Luna, their dialogue and interactions with each other, I think was pretty top-notch. Luna was also pretty funny, and this dumb kid was pretty funny, and it was a fun time overall, I'd say. That's probably all I have to say about this story. On to the next one. Man, who would have thought we get a second #cheese pie story? And wow, I think this one is even better. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Beginning, go. Cheese ominously walking to town. He's in cowboy party mode. And that's how you know he's here on business. Cut to 1 week earlier. God, this is literally my least favorite narrative trope. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this so much. Why do writers do this? I can't stand it. Just start your story where it starts. Why do you cut to the middle where, we gotta build up suspense and foreshadowing? It's just spoilers, stop! Just let your story play out. Do you think your story can't do it on its own? Did you not write it well enough or something? God, there goes the pacing all on a whack. Anyway, cut to 1 week earlier when her story actually begins. Pinkie Pie is going to the post office to get some mail. And she gets a package from Cheese. But more importantly, this postmaster's a piece of shit and gives Pinkie a letter that's meant for Marble. Oh my god, what a slacker. Did he even read the letter? Clearly not. Don't need to read the rest of the words, because obviously it's meant for Pinkie Pie at Sugar Cube Corner. Man, what a cherished institution tarnished by imbeciles. Anyway, Pinkie Pie delivers the letter to Marble, and what? It's a college acceptance letter, wow! But it's far away in Abyssinia on a remote island, and she won't be able to see Pinkie Pie for 2 whole years. So I don't usually pay attention or care about this kind of stuff, but I really like the paneling here. Like, they're just 2 basic panels, but instead of a simple white line dividing them, it's got a little zigzag, symbolizing how they're being ripped apart. Good touch. But Pinkie Pie's just so sad that Marble's leaving forever and ever, that she can't muster up the spirit to throw her a going-away party. I really like this conflict. It's very reminiscent to Pinkie Pride, which is an episode I'm quite fond of, let my biases be known, but with a twist. Instead of the desire to go bigger and grander and show off, she's retreating into herself. She can't throw a party at all. Her emotions are getting in the way, and she's unable to spread laughter and happiness. So now Applejack has to come over and give Pinkie Pie the little sister talk, even though they're like twins, but whatever. Applejack had to learn it, and then Rarity had to, and now it's Pinkie's turn. Applejack gave a nice little speech, and now Pinkie Pie is emotionally stable enough to hire Cheese Sandwich to plan a party. And that's how the 1 week later comes into play. Wow! Man, now that the story is finally caught up to the beginning, gotta say, that opening segment, totally unnecessary. They always are. They always are! I've never once seen a good 1 week earlier segment in my entire life. No, stop. God, I hate it. They always set you up thinking something exciting and cool is gonna happen, and then immediately followed by something mundane and irrelevant, and it's like, why did you even bother to show me this? Oh my god. Literally yesterday, I was watching NCIS, and then it opened up with, oh, guys going to defuse a bomb, and then the camera pans up and to the left, and dun dun dun, there's a bad guy with a gun behind the agent defusing the bomb. And then it cuts to 3 weeks earlier. And then we finally get to that part of the show, the literal next frame. The agent immediately turns around, one-shots him, goes back to defusing the bomb. I don't know why that heats me up so much, but it just does. Morty did nothing wrong.
You like that? You want me to cut to 3 weeks earlier when you were alive?
Anyway, Mr. Sandwich is here to plan the party all by himself. But he's all like, hey, Pinky, you wanna at least look? We could do this together, huh? Kinda like in Pinkie Pride. After Pinkie Pie concedes to Cheese Sandwich, he's all like, we could do it together. And they do, wow. Except in this case, she only helps a tiny little bit, because she's still mega sad. So when Cheese was talking about his cheese station piece of cheese stuff, that was pretty funny. Good job, writers. That was nice. Hot take, maybe? I don't like cake, but you know what I do like? Cheese. I think he might be onto something. And then Marble and Pinky had their little goodbye talk and they both feel better. And then Pinky and Cheese walk off into the sunset. Again, they did that again? That's how they ended the last story. How do they keep getting away with this? I said this earlier, right? I really like this story. I think it's pretty well done. Except for the shitty 1 week earlier. But I'm not gonna get back on that. You guys already know exactly how I feel about it. I am done with that rant. Also, this is such a good title. See you later? Because Marble asked for a goodbye party, but Pinky doesn't want to tell Marble goodbye. She wants to say see you later, which implies an event to the near future in which they see each other. They took a dumb little reference and just made it into an entire Pinkie Pie lesson. And now she fully understands the difference between goodbye and see you later. So this is something I've touched on before, but I'm not typically too fond of the one-issue comics, because typically they allocate their time and pages poorly. Too often they try to make too complex of a plot and have to spend too much time setting up the plot, and then they can't meaningfully resolve it. Don't get me wrong, multi-part comics also allocate their pages poorly. Just look at the last Pinky and Cheese comic. They didn't have a complex enough story to fill 2 issues, so they just kind of took 2 separate stories and jammed them together until they kind of fit. But this story used their resources very well. They kept it simple. Pinkie Pie is sad. They kept it familiar. They pulled from Applejack's and Rarity's Little Sister episodes, as well as Cheese Sandwich's debut, Pinkie Pride. And they managed to make a very simple, yet compelling Pinkie Pie story. I mean, honestly, the comics truly don't really get better than this. This is pretty well written and well planned. So as a whole, I think it's quite good, but looking at individual scenes, it could have used some more fun moments. This story about Pinkie Pie being sad isn't funny enough. Come on, guys. Like, I think the gummy scene is pretty fun. I love that little guy, but oh, hear me out. Look at this little guy. All the attitude he's showing here. And he spoke to Fluttershy? How he was that emotionally distraught that he had to talk to her? Oh my god, what is going on with that little guy? And when Cheese is going over his party plans, that's pretty fun. Not just the whole piece of cheese thing, but also him like prodding her to ask about the party and get involved. And then, what if they ripped out that shitty 1 week later part? And then, just use those 2 pages for fun stuff. Huh? Or at least the second page, it didn't need to be 2 whole pages of useless shit. It could have just ended after, this isn't a social call, Mayor. That's a missed opportunity in my book. Man, all 4 of these were like, pretty good. I'm really happy. I hope the finale is just as strong. Alright. I've held you captive here long enough. I better end this video now. So, those have been my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until next time.
Oh wait, speaking of next time, next time is the end. And there'll finally be some kind of development for the main plot.
Wow! Will it be worth the wait? Find out next time. It probably won't.